Welcome to week 2, day 1 of our workout. Today we're going to be starting with an arm focused workout. So our first exercise is called an IYT raise. And you can see that I'm raising to the front, then out in a Y, and then out in a T. So that's where it gets the IYT name. You need to do one of each, and that equals 1 rep. So you're doing 8 of these for our first workout. This is going to be hitting your anterior and your medial delts. You can also use a band to do this, as I'm showing you here. You might not be able to get your band as high as you would if you were doing it with a dumbbell, but just get it as high as you can and then take it back down for your next rep. After this, we're going to be supersetting with toe taps. So I'm using a little step. You can use either steps that you have. You could use like stacked pillows on the ground. Basically, you're just tapping it with one toe at a time, going back and forth. This is also a cardio motion, so you're trying to get your heart rate up to get our workout started for today. Next, we'll be going into reverse grip barbell bicep curls. So I'm starting with my hands facing down instead of how we did facing up last week when we did our curls. So it's facing down. This is going to be hitting your forearm a little bit more. And I'm just curling up, the same motion as the curls we did last week. But my grip is different on this one. You can also use your dumbbells if you have those for this, or use the resistance band as I'm showing you right here. Just make sure your grip is that reverse grip to be hitting the muscle groups we're trying to target right now. After this, we're going to be supersetting with a tricep kickback. So remember, the tricep is the back of your arm. That's where you're going to be feeling this next one. I have a dumbbell in each hand. I'm bent over. I'm bending my arms and then trying to kick them back and straighten them as much as I can. Make sure you're using a light weight here. If you use too heavy of a weight, it's going to be difficult to kick it back. You can also do it with the resistance band, but you'll notice I'm gripping it a little different. I don't have the handles. I'm just kind of holding the whole end together. I noticed this was a lot easier to kick it back than if I was gripping at the handles. Next, we're going to be doing hammer curls. So again, it's a curl motion, but it's all about your hand position here. So both of my palms are facing inward on this one. We're mainly hitting our bicep. It's called a hammer curl because it looks like you're knocking down a hammer with it. This is what it looks like from the side. So I'm just starting with my arms straight and then curling them up. You can also use the resistance band to do this one. You'll notice that I'm gripping it again like I did with that tricep kickback. Instead of holding it by the handles, I'm just grabbing the whole end of it all together to pull it up, stepping on one foot to give it that resistance. I noticed this grip was a lot easier than trying to do the handles with it. We're going to be supersetting these hammer curls with dips. So here I'm just using a chair. You could use a chair too if you have a step you want to use, or a couch would even work for this one. I'm also hitting my tricep with this motion, so I'm just dipping my body down as deep as I can. If that's hard for you, here's a modification: having your knees bent. It's going to be a little bit easier with your feet closer to your body. Do these the best you can to failure. After this, we're going into Spider-Man plank. So I start in a plank position, but you can see I'm taking one leg up, kind of like Spider-Man would be crawling up a wall. So I just have one leg at a time. We're going to be trying to work on our core with this motion. Then we're going to be moving into a back extension. So for this, I'm just laying flat on my stomach and I have my arms above my head. And then I'm just lifting the upper half of my body off the mat. So you're going to be feeling this in the lower part of your back. It's a core, it's a hyperextension, a core motion. Our last exercise of the day is a plank up down. So I'm starting in a plank on my elbows, going up to a push-up position on my hands, and then back down to my elbows. Up, up, down, down is 1 rep. So you're doing 10 of these each. If you're having trouble doing this all the way up into a push-up position, you can go down on your knees. So here I'm showing you a modification. It'll make it a little bit easier. You'll feel this a lot in your shoulders as you do it. But this is the end of the day 1 work.